Am I the a-hole for answering honestly that I was not invited to my cousin's wedding? Backstory: my dad's family lives a 10 hours ride 2 states away. We'd go every Christmas to visit them, including my 2 cousins. As a kid I wanted to play with them, but they'd hardly play with me. I grew to get used to it. Everyone other than my dad stopped visiting when my grandpa took my aunt, uncle, and cousins out to Sizzlers without my family after we drove 10 hours to be there the day before. That was the last straw for my mom, and we, besides dad, haven't been back since. I hold no hard feelings to my cousins. We haven't talked in a long time, but are Facebook friends. My cousins got married 2 weeks ago. Only my dad and mom was invited. She didn't go as they have a bad marriage and his family stalks, so she wasn't going to go and feel awkward. My dad returned from the wedding trip yesterday after visiting family. He traveled back with extended family from the west coast who came to visit. My dad's aunt asked me why didn't I go to my cousin's wedding. I answered simply, I wasn't invited. She said then I could have at least purchased something off of him and his now wife's registry or contributed to their tropical honeymoon fund. No, I just started my job, which my dad and grandpa have made rude comments about, and I will not give his family a dime. So, I said no. When extended family left, my dad got upset with me and told me I didn't need to be so honest and say what I said. Am I the a-hole for answering honestly? Truly, no hate to my cousin, but I was going to answer honestly and not buy into their registry. Now let's read some comments. Not the a-hole, and they're horribly entitled. My cousins are definitely the favorite grandkids of the family. Grandpa would always take them on grandpa-granddaughter/son excursions, have actual conversations with them, etc. And all I get is talked about my job, a sales position in a software company, pays good for first career, and generally ignored. So being asked to give money to a cousin who never acknowledges my presence and now wife who I have never met annoyed me. And yes, it is very entitled to ask to give money to the golden grandchildren. Yeah, why would you buy a gift for a wedding you weren't invited to? If you're not close enough to get an invite, you're not close enough to give a wedding gift. You don't get a gift if you don't invite someone to your wedding. Op isn't close to the cousin. It is not Op's job to fund cousin's honeymoon. So freaking entitled. Not the a-hole. What the duck else were you supposed to say? Also, why do they think you're supposed to send a gift or money for a wedding that you're not even invited to? That's insane. Frankly, it sounds like your dad has no backbone when extended family is involved and sells out his real family to please them without a second thought. No wonder the marriage is on the rocks. No, my dad has no backbone. Frankly, he doesn't even care enough to have a backbone. He only cares about himself. So for 20 years he let our family get treated bad by his. No invite, no present. It's horribly entitled of them to think that it should be otherwise. I feel bad for Op and everyone else Op's dad sells out and uses. The wedding gift tradition is, if you are invited and are unable to attend, you send a gift. If you are not invited, you are under no obligation to send a gift. The extended family are people you have nothing to do with most of your life. You probably won't see or hear from them again until someone dies. Not the a-hole. Even this isn't a hard and fast rule. I got some judgment for not sending a gift to a friend I hadn't spoken to in over a decade after she invited me to a destination campground wedding where guests were expected to bring their own tent, food, and booze. According to some mutual friends, they invited literally everyone they knew, knowing very few people would want to attend, in hopes of getting gifts or money from everyone. After the wedding, she reached out to guilt me about it, saying she had hoped to rekindle our relationship, which ended because I was always the one initiating contact and eventually just stopped. Like, seriously, I'm not sending a gift just because you sent me an invite. You at least have to still be my friend. Exactly, no invite then no chance of a gift. Send an invite and maybe they will send something. I had family that couldn't attend, but still sent small gifts. I kept my registry very modest with items in the $5 to $100 range. I just didn't think anything more than that would be appropriate. Some older family members nagged me about not having expensive items. One straight up bought a $500 knife set instead of the $90 set from the list. They are amazing. but dang, I felt guilty for them spending so much. Also didn't help my in-laws bought the $90 set. Guess who has 2 knife blocks in their kitchen? Lol. People acting like they entitled to gifts is just crazy to me. Not the a-hole. Your dad should have stepped up a long time to protect your family from this. His wife and child, Ren, should have been far more important to him than people who treat them badly. You were asked a question and you replied. Nothing wrong with that. Why would you send them a gift? You don't owe them anything, and they've never treated you well. You know where you're valued. Don't lose sight of that. Not the a-hole. You weren't invited, you're not close to the person, and you can't afford it. 3 excellent reasons to not contribute. Your aunt's questions were seriously obnoxious. Your father should have had your family's back. If someone did that to my loved ones, that would be the last visit, until they apologized and changed their behavior. And, if they didn't, it would be the last visit. You would think, wouldn't you? He has never stuck up for his family, not even when past neighbors got strange and started taking photos of my underage brothers at the time. He doesn't care about anyone but himself and affair partners. That's not what this "Am I the a-hole?" post is about, but sadly it's helped lead to this. Different question, same answer. Why didn't you go to the wedding? I wasn't invited. Well, why didn't you send a gift at least? I wasn't invited. Well, you still could send a gift. No, because I wasn't invited. I always find it quite satisfying to say that I don't want to set a precedent when I know people are being one-sided. I don't want people to think that I would expect a gift from people I hadn't invited to something. It's poor practice to go against etiquette, not the a-hole. This deserves more upvotes. Exactly. Absolutely this. In fact, I would go so far as to tell the entitled app $$ asking you why you didn't send a present. It's poor etiquette to buy wedding presents for a wedding you're not invited to. You don't want to put the wedding couple on the spot, make them uncomfortable for not inviting you. Turn it right around on that person. Not the a-hole. This is the social contract. I invite you to my wedding, and implicit with this is I throw a party and give you food/drinks. You agree to come and buy a wedding present. If you want to attend but can't, you might still offer a present to say congratulations, but this is not mandatory. If you don't even extend the courtesy of an invite, why should you expect a gift? This is selfishness pure and simple. Not the a-hole. Your dad seems to not like the family he created, which is why he allows his family to treat you like crap. He admonished you, but not the aunt, for trying to shake you down for a wedding gift when you weren't invited. He thinks it's better lie. Wonder what he has lied about. Not the a-hole. It's nobody's business who you buy gifts for. If they wanted a gift from you, they could have invited you to the wedding, or at least developed a relationship with you. Probably they don't care about it nearly as much as your other relatives do, but if they want to do a gift grab, they can do it themselves. Not the a-hole. You are not required to buy a wedding gift if you aren't even invited to the wedding. That's ridiculous. You aren't close to this cousin and wouldn't want to buy a gift anyway. You were honest. If dad's upset, he's upset. He knows how his family treats your mom and you, and he should be defending his wife and kids, no one else. Edit. I checked wedding etiquette. Even if you're invited to a wedding, if you can't go or decline the invitation, you are still not required to buy a gift. Of course, you can choose to do so if you are close to the couple, but it's still not required. Of the 3 weddings I've been to as an adult, I've given 0 gifts. I offered, but all 3 of my friends said that, since I was traveling a large distance to attend, 2 were 400 miles away, and the 3rd was 5,000, they didn't want me to get anything. Tropical honeymoon fund is a thing. Yes, you could have chosen to give a gift, but we are well in your rights not to. She asked. You answered not the a-hole. They had a registry which included Bath and Body Works, masses, some cheap looking bohemian throw pillows, and a donation button for the honeymoon fund. So parents tell you your whole childhood that it's bad to lie, but then get mad at you for being honest? Maybe it's just me, but I also don't see any reason at all why you should contribute to a honeymoon fund or send presents for something that you weren't invited to. It would be a different matter if you were invited but couldn't or didn't want to go, but in this situation I wouldn't have done it either. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Your father is a husband and father. Imagine just standing by and watching your wife and children be treated badly. Honestly, your father and his family reminds me of my own father and his side of the family. Let me just say that my life improved greatly once they were removed from it. Life is too short to waste on bad people. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell for more videos. Also like the video if you enjoy it.